different video from what I make normally, but Nish Kumar now moaning away because he's been dropped by the BBC because his ratings tanked because he was involved with that god-awful Daily Mash, or the Mash Report, or the hell it's called, lefty woke echo chamber, and anyone who's opposed to him or doesn't like him is a racist, Nazi, Brexit, whatever. And he's, unfortunately I had a Guardian article I saw on Facebook, someone linked it, taking the mick out of it, but I had the misfortune to look at some of it, and it's written by a complete NPC, original factory model, basically allowing Nish to cite his grievances. And, do they just hate my jokes? Asked Nish Kumar. Nish, you don't make any jokes, mate. You're not funny. You could be, if you were funny, I can pretty much guarantee, if you were funny, I couldn't care less about your politics. I've got friends that I'm conservative, small c, whatever, doesn't matter, but I've got friends that are complete left wing, and if you get on, you try and ignore political differences, or certainly if you're seeing comedy, you don't care what someone thinks when they're off stage. They might even direct their humour in as they're making the jokes, but if it's funny, people will laugh at it if you make jokes. But recently he did a gig a while back where he did a charity stand-up thing, or stand-up, and he went into he got filmed off a phone. It was a big thing on the news because he got booed off and he had a bread roll chucked at him and stuff. But he went into some big joke about, well, his joke was like how British people today can't feel any pride for having defeated the Nazis or been on the winning side in the World War II, because these days we couldn't handle. How could we handle the Luftwaffe raid or the Blitz on London when we can't even handle our phones being on less than 20% power? Or so that was it. I'm not trying to be funny or deliberately, run down his jokes. That was the joke, and that was the punchline. And then saying people can't feel any pride for their forefathers or foremothers, for people, I don't know what you say these days, having helped defeat the Nazi menace. Then when people booed him, he said that's exactly the behaviour I expect from people whose forefathers or whatever descendants colonised my country, because he's like Indian heritage, or from his parents from India or whatever. But it doesn't work like that, mate. You can't on one hand say we shouldn't feel any satisfaction, pride in what our descendants achieved or were part of, and then bring up the past to criticize people when they don't like your jokes. Well, as I say, you don't make any jokes. The few of the Mash Report, whatever it's called, that got him and that awful woman looks like the Joker, Rachel something, and then whenever there was laughter, it was like they filmed the back of the audience. The audience didn't move. You just hear this laughter, and then there'd be the back, this sort of silhouette. And Nish has always got that. It's a dead giveaway thing. People who are not funny and think they're funny, when they say something, they'll titter at their own jokes. Donald Trump, orange. What, But yeah, if you were funny, Nish, people, if they're on the right or whatever, or, mad Brexit supporting little Englanders waving Union Jacks, by the White Cliffs of Dover, if you were funny, people would pick up on it. They'd like it, because you get your humour where you can. They wouldn't particularly care about your private politics, even if they're part of it. Well, even if they're part of your act. If you could do them well, people appreciate your humour. It's clever. There's nothing funny about just repeating politically correct sound bites in front of your woke echo chamber, and then saying you got dropped by the BBC because there's a war on left-wing comedians or war on woke or whatever. If your ratings are crap, which they were, then you'll get dropped. It's just the way of the world. Even the BBC, the most god-awful woke, bullshit broadcasting corporation, they'll drop you, mate, because don't expect any loyalty even from your own in that world. So yeah, it's got nothing to do with your ethnicity, your politics. And in that school, you've had every opportunity. It's Lenny Henry is another one who, if people don't find him funny, he says it's racism or something. He's made an entire career and made a lot of money that from zero talent, really, just because people think they have to find them funny, because if they don't, there'll be you'll just racist kickback. And it's the same with Nish Kumar, really. So mate, maybe use this time, try to get some jokes together. I don't think you will, because watching on panel shows and that is, and when you're up against when you're with other comedians, it's painful, mate. You are so out of your depth. Not funny, very average intelligence. Maybe there's something else you can do. You did the straight guy thing once pretty well. There's that Rachel Paris woman. You did the straight guy thing. You just have to look a bit stunned by everything you were hearing. That was kind of all right. But, just maybe find some other avenue, mate, while you're still in your 30s, because you're not funny.